Hello everybody and welcome to the ToniSport Newsfeed. Today I'm back with another video for you guys, and this time we will talk about the front wheel drive class. This is the first time I will do a kind of a video with the content of the front wheel drive class. I just built a front wheel drive car for myself in the last couple of weeks, and now as it is ready and I did my first test drive some weeks ago, I will like to talk a little bit about the front wheel drive class itself and why a lot of people are so fascinated by these cars and these racing cars. I mean, you can see this badass here on the table. It's a really nice looking car. My paint job is quite simple, but overall the car looks really cool and even more realistic than cars in other classes at the moment. And before we start a little bit into the topic of the front wheel drive class, we will just give you some impressions what it's all about when you are racing front wheel drive class on a higher level at the ETS. Just watch some video sequences right now, and after that we will go a little bit over the car and talk a little bit about things. And in the future I will provide you some more detailed information about setups when I have more experiences with the car. But now let's check out what the front wheel drive class is all about. Enjoy it.
Second dive, car number 2. Good for Stefan Schulz, leading away from the rest of the field. 1 minute and 45 seconds on the race clock. Stefan with his X-Ray in the lead. Then it's Stephen Olsen with the automatics.
And here we go, aiming number 2. Excellent start, guys. That's how it's done. Stephen Olsen, your leader. Then it's Henrik Heitsch, Schulz, and in the 4th position we have Patrick Müller. Both over the curving. Schulz with a little mistake, and Olsen is back in the lead now.
Heitsch out front, Rittelbach looking high, looking low, trying to find somewhere to go to get by Heitsch. Through the switchbacks they go. It's going to be a race to the finish line as time has expired. AMA number 1, front wheel drive. One more time around the Infinity Teardrop. A drag race down the line. Heitsch hangs on for the win.
Wow guys, what a cool class. Now it's time to take a closer look under the hood of the car, that you get a little bit more information about what is under the hood. Okay, time to look under the hood of my front wheel drive car, which I built for myself. In this case it's the front wheel drive car from Jürgen Seidke, the MTC2F. And in general all the front wheel drive cars, they look relatively the same when it comes to the electronic layout. We have some cars with the motor still here in the front, but the most designers now, they decided to place all these electronic components here directly in the center of the car, a little bit forward. In front of the spur gear you will find the motor, and to compensate these differences, most of them are using heavy weights here under the front bumper or under the front differential. But now let's take a look on the equipment of my car, as I just want to tell you a little bit about the components. I'm using the Hobbywing Just Stock combo here in the car. It's a 17.5 turns motor and the XR10 speed control. This is the combo which is also used at the ETS in the front wheel drive class, or at the TOS and in several other racing series. The combo is working pretty fine. It's really easy to adjust. The feeling is good, and you can drive the car without any trouble in case of electronics. Then I installed a Power HD servo. This is always working super great. And on the other side you can see that I'm using a super flat LRP 4000 shorty battery, and in the rear section you will see my receiver and a transponder. So overall you can see that the car is very clean. You have enough space to mount your electronics. It's a little bit more easy compared to a four-wheel drive touring car, where you have a little bit less space because of the bigger battery and the second belt in the rear and all these things. But that's the electronic package I'm using in the car. And when we look onto the front wheel drive car, the biggest difference when you compare it with a four-wheel drive touring car is very easy to explain. The four-wheel drive touring car, as the name said, is driven by all 4 wheels. So you have 2 belts, and the motor is pulling the spur gear here in the center, and the belts will transfer the forward drive to the front and to the rear tires. So a 4-wheel drive touring car is very sensitive when it comes to tweak, and everything has to be balanced really perfect to get all these 4 wheels working in the same way or in the way you like. But when we are looking on the front-wheel drive car, it's only equipped with 1 belt, because the drive of the car gets only produced here on the front wheels. This is the only drive you have, and the rear wheels, they are just spinning around and are just rolling through the corners and rolling behind the front wheel drivetrain. So this is the biggest difference, and because we have only the front wheels producing the forward drive, the car is a little bit more easy and relaxed to drive, because it is not so sensitive to tweak and to setup changes, because the rear is not so active. On the other side, another interesting aspect of front-wheel drive cars is the weight balance, because as you see, most of the components are mounted very much forward in the car, and you have the oil-filled differential here and some weights under the diff and under the bumper, so most of the weight is over the front axle. We are talking about a weight balance of between 63 and 67% in the front most of the time, so the rear is very much lighter than the front, which makes the car easier to drive. But it is also a little bit crucial to find the right balance. You always have to try to get the best possible forward drive out of the corners, and therefore you need that much weight over the front to prevent the front tires from having wheel spin. So when your front is too light and you move too much weight to the rear, you will always have wheel spin out of the corner, and you simply will not have enough forward drive and acceleration out of the corner. So that is the main reason why these cars have this forward weight bias, and this is the biggest difference from a front-wheel drive car to a touring car. Setup-wise, you will have all the options which you will have with a normal touring car. You can adjust the camber, the toe, the caster, the droop. You can play with the shock oil, the springs, the shock positions. You can adjust all these different flex parameters with top decks and with the screws in the chassis and the motor mount. So you can play around with the same things, but you will notice that your setup window is a little bit bigger. So it takes definitely more to make the setup really, really bad in a front-wheel drive car compared to a four-wheel drive touring car, because only the front tires are responsible for the forward drive you have in the car. And as I did my first test runs, I just built the car according the manual and the team's stock or basic carpet setup, and the car directly felt good when the tires had been broken in after 1 or 2 packs. It was relaxed to drive, it was good to drive, it had enough steering, enough roll, and it was really fun, and you really could go out on the track and fight with your friends and with some other drivers on the track without having so much stress compared to the four-wheel drive touring car. And in my opinion, this is the biggest aspect and the biggest reason why this front-wheel drive class is so famous, and a lot of drivers are really liking these cars and the handling of the cars. So next step, we will talk a little bit about the body shell. One of the major aspects of the front-wheel drive class being so successful is the body shell and the wheels looking really amazing on the track. This is one of the reasons, in my opinion. As you can see here, when we compare it with a touring car, the look is completely different, and the body shells and the wheels, the spoke wheels, in this case here from right, they are just looking amazing, and on track you will have a really cool looking car, and the speed is optimized for the racing class, so everything fits together really perfect. And in case of body shells, I only can recommend you to check out which body shells are available. A lot of different styles and designs, and you can choose a body shell which you like the most and which is also in the rules of your racing class. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed our initial video about the front wheel drive class. I will try to provide you some more detailed information about setups when I have gained more experience with the car and have maybe done some small races. And until then, I hope that you will enjoy RC racing on track. I will hope that you enjoy the front wheel drive class even more. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel until now, just do it. Make sure that the bell is on, and you will never miss any content from ToniSport in the future. As always, to finish the video, keep in mind, race with ToniSport, you will never race alone, and we see us in the next one. Goodbye.